I am the problem. I went on a date with this guy and he was like, it's getting late. Do you want to come back to my place? And I was like, sure, but I'm not going to sleep with you. Like, that's not happening. And he was like, that's totally fine. Just come over. And I was like, cool. So I go to his place. He respects my wishes. He's so nice. He cuddles me all night. And I'm like, are you gay? Like, what? And like, I just wanted him to like try, and then for me to be like, no, you know what I mean? I wasn't gonna sleep with him. Now I feel ugly. This is what. Oh my God.
Fellas. Yo, at all costs, stay clear of a woman like this. Dude played it correct, so don't try to be double-minded when she comes over and then try to be all over her. It's about escalation and de-escalation. She already told you she's not going to do anything, and a lot of times women will test you in this manner, but this is like sometimes a dangerous game. I've covered 2 story times in reference to this, which I'll link them here and you guys can watch them at the end, where both sides of the coin this happened. And what happens with women is women don't like to feel rejected. They want to be wanted, but they don't want you to try too hard. But it's also, she's saying that. She's just trying to play the bougie role sometimes, and you'll go with her wishes. They're cuddling now. So cuddling, spooning, whatever you want to call it, is of a sexual nature. And you guys can argue all you want, but it happens. And sometimes your hands tend to wander, and a woman will correct you and say, oh, she'll get up and leave and say, I'm not comfortable. But this is still a dangerous situation. If that's all you want to do is cuddle, cool. If not, be like, okay. But sometimes, guys, it makes a woman want you more. Sometimes it backfires. One story before we get into the next clip here. She invited herself over. She wanted to come over. She was going through a situation. She came over or whatever. She asked, could she get into bed? She asked, could she stay? She put my hands around her and we were in bed. So I went for what I knew. And she was like, no, I'm good. So I just stopped and we fell asleep. And the next day she was just like, yo, you were creepy, blah, blah, blah. Came over there. Keep in mind, this woman was just talking about what she did earlier in the day, which was she was going through a stressful situation and she was pleasing herself. She told me this before she came over. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. And basically, she said I was a creep. And that was that. The other situation, we were in bed. I fell asleep. And the next day, the energy was off. And she felt like what she said. She felt rejected. This is how women are. It depends on how much she likes you. A man typically initiates things, even though she says, I'm not going to do anything, because women do say these things. But there's a very thin line. And when you're dealing with women with certain things, if she's already at your place, she said, I don't want to have anything to do with this. We need to get you up out of here. If that's not what you want to do, and you gave me signs, and I thought this is what was going on, we need to get you up out of here. Have it documented and things like that. So anyway, let's get on to this next clip though. I don't know why this thing is like doing fireworks, but let's get on to this next clip, guys, just to show you how delusional women are. Let's go.
So I'm seeing this guy casually, and we were supposed to see each other on Saturday. And Saturday night, like I see him on Saturday during the day. We confirm our plans for Saturday night. Saturday night, we're just hanging at my house, you know, doing a little home date. So he was supposed to come over at 9 p.m. and I pushed our time back like an hour. And so like I'm calling him, texting him, and he's not answering. 11:30, he texted me and said, oh, my bad, I fell asleep. But I had blocked him. So I didn't know this. So the next day he texted me and he was just I was like, what happened last night? And he was like, I fell asleep. And I was like, do I look like a dummy to you? No, do I look dumb to you? Do I look like I'm that dumb that I would believe that you fell asleep at 9 p.m. on a Saturday night when we had plans? And he was just like, I don't know what to tell you. I really did fall asleep. And I'm like sharing about this on my close friend story because I'm like, he thinks I'm so dumb. I would never believe that. So anyways, this is Sunday morning. Sunday night, I fall asleep at like 7:30, 8 p.m. This other guy that I'm dating, casually, by the way, he calls me and I don't answer because I'm sleeping. Then he texts me. It was just like, my bad. I should have texted you before I called you to see if you were available. But I didn't respond because I was sleeping. I really was sleeping. So I wake up at like 2 a.m. I'm like, oh my God. Because this man, we met on Friday. He's already been tripping. Like, crazy, okay? I knew there was no way he was gonna believe that I was sleeping. So I was like, I know you're not gonna believe this, but I was actually sleeping. Of course he didn't believe it, okay? So when I get on the phone with him, he's just like, do I look like a dummy to you? He's like, either you are a pathological liar or you just have the worst luck in the world. Which also, insane conversation to be having with some man that you met 3 days ago, okay? But it just reminded me of the conversation that I was having with the other guy that I was dating on Sunday, asking him if I look like a dummy because he fell asleep on Saturday night. And it makes me wonder if women know how insane we sound. Like, sometimes these men do just be falling asleep. Isn't that crazy?
I don't think you do realize how insane you sound until someone actually reads something back to you or explains it to you, and then you're like, oh, with some women, the light bulb just takes a long time to go off, and it's unfortunate because you always expect the worst out of a man, but when you do it, it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. I'm just being a woman. This is what happens. I really did fall asleep, but a lot of times y'all really don't be falling asleep. A man's not just going to blow you off unless he's in the middle of some cheeks. He's just not going to blow off a woman trying to link or meet up or the potential to clap some cheeks. So you're casually dating and you saying that this guy fell asleep, which is the usual excuse. I think that one video, the lady was like, he told her he couldn't wait for her. He had to get something to eat. He came up with a crazy excuse. He couldn't get a snack. He was like, I just can't wait any longer. I got to go get something to eat. And he canceled the date in terms of that. But no man's going to forego some cheeks unless he's got some other cheeks lined up. That's just how it is. Women, same thing. Or women will just flake because they just didn't really mean it. Women, now the ones who don't get hit on a lot, that's a different story. But women will flake on you for whatever. They will ignore your call. They'll know they have a date. You'll confirm with her earlier that day, and she still will come up with an excuse at the last minute somehow. And it's crazy, man. It's crazy. That's why, as much as you guys say, you can call me a simp, I don't care, because I know who I am. You guys are the ones still trying to get buns or being frustrated about getting buns, but I really don't care what happens to women when it comes to a lot of the things when they say a guy did them wrong or a guy cheated on them, because I know how women are. The majority of women are just delusional and full of shit and have no problem doing things to you and sleeping perfectly fine at night and thinking about some other dude or having some other dude clap the cheeks. That's just how it is, fellas. That one in particular, though, even though you could say it's comedy, that does happen because I've been in both of those situations. It's always damn if you do, damn if you don't. But that's a red flag with a woman. I always say on first dates when you guys are going out, there has to be, a lot of you guys are just afraid to approach women because you're like, she's going to call the cops if I approach her. There's nothing wrong with approaching a woman. You'll never know. There always has to be some sort of innuendo or sexual innuendo on a first date so a woman knows that you're interested in her. Because some women will think, as the first lady said, oh, he's gay. What's wrong with this guy? He's gay because he don't want to clap the cheeks. I said that, and she was, because a lot of times a woman won't initiate. In that first situation, a woman will not initiate. She'll say that wanting you to initiate, and if you just don't do anything, she won't do anything unless she's really like into it. But sometimes she'll give the signs, you escalate, then you de-escalate and fall back. That's just how it is. That's the dance that we have with women. Unless a woman's just completely into you and she just throws it at you. Let me know what you guys think, though. Comment below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Much blessings and abundance. Stick around for the next video that's going to pop up on the screen below. That's where I'm going to see you guys at. Let's run it up to 1 million. Quit playing with me. This is wisdom. Follow me on Snapchat. I'm out of here. Peace.